Larry Titus, welcome again. When leaders live together, when two strong personalities can thrive in marriage. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining my wife, Debbie. We've co-written this book together, When Leaders Live Together. Please go online and order your copy today. Order 2 copies so the both of you can make notes in it and remind yourselves, not each other, what needs to be taken care of and improved. This is number 10 in the series, and it's called I'm Not Defensive. And of course, you already knew that I'm not, right? And you knew that most men are not defensive, correct? I think that defensiveness started rather early in human history. The Bible says that in Genesis chapter number 3, God was walking in the Garden of Eden and said, Adam, and Adam said, I'm hiding because I was naked. And God says, who told you you were naked? Did you eat of the tree that I told you you could not eat of? And Adam said, it was the woman you gave me. So number one, time in history, whenever defensiveness became a reality, was as soon as man fell, the first thing he did was become defensive. Defensiveness is not my problem. It is somebody else's problem. It's the woman's problem. Good thing that God had created woman, or he would have had nobody to blame. So then the woman picked it up from there, and she then began to accuse the devil as being the real culprit. And God is trying to do something here, because the blame game that started in the Garden of Eden continues to this day and is an extremely destructive area whenever it is seen or witnessed or routinely used in marriage. And I say to my wife, I say, Debbie, I said, I'm sure the men are more culprits than the women are. I'm sure that the men are more culpable in this area. And she said, no, it's equal. But I think the reason I'm sensitive is because I came into marriage as an extremely defensive man, extremely defensive. Anything that you thought was a problem was my problem. I could immediately tell you it was not my problem, and then I could shift it back on you. I was always the victim. I was never able to assume responsibility. This is a deadly trait in marriage, because it prohibits, literally stops any kind of an intimacy. Because as soon as you start getting close, my defensive plexiglass wall comes up, and I begin to frustrate any attempt at getting too close, because you will at some point see that something that I've done is wrong, and you're going to want to blame me. My defensiveness says, no, I'm never to blame. I think it is a disease that politicians have. What do you think? I want to mention some of these things. See if you might own up to any of these. You're afraid to admit a mistake. At the first sign of accusation, you begin looking for someone else to blame. Do any of these fit you? You don't tell the whole truth, but only the part that makes you look good. You're unwilling to listen to the suggestions of others. You're unteachable. You're unwilling to learn. You know more than others. If someone challenges you, you immediately put that person down. It's hard to admit when you're wrong. It's hard for you to apologize and to ask forgiveness. You don't want to look less than perfect. It's hard for you to compliment others. You're controlling. You're not open or vulnerable. Your friends don't feel comfortable confronting you. You avoid confrontation, and you hide things, all as a result of defensiveness. Much better had Adam said, it's me. I knew that it was wrong to eat of the tree. She did not. She was deceived. I was not deceived. I abdicated. Because whenever you're able to embrace an area that you've been weak in, it immediately strengthens you. Whenever you're able to say, it's me, it releases you. I had a young guy come into my office, and he said, my fiance is breaking up with me. I said, why? And he said, well, she just says that I'm defensive. And I said, are you? And he said, yes. And I said, well, call her and tell her you're sorry. He said, I can't. I said, why? He said, because I would be admitting that I'm wrong. I said, well, pick up the phone. So I said, what's the number? And I dialed the phone. I said, okay, tell her you're sorry. And it was virtually impossible. He would say, I said, sorry, say you're sorry. To apologize is incredible. In fact, listen to me, if you're a parent and you made mistakes in your children in their earlier years, if you will admit your mistakes and apologize and ask forgiveness, it brings everything current. Forgiveness and apology brings everything current. I tell you, it is the greatest thing in the world. Get rid of the defensiveness. If you've got a problem, say it's me. We were at My kids were young. Remember the root beer drive-in, A&W root beer, and they would hook the tray on your table. Well, my son and daughter in the back seat, and they were young, and my wife and I in the front. We had ordered a stack of hamburgers and root beer floats and root beers, and the big cold frosted mugs were sitting on there, sitting on that little tray on the window. And my daughter said, "Dad, would you roll down the back window, please?" And I hit the wrong button. When the window went down, so did everything, including all of the glass mugs and all of the food splattered on the pavement. At that moment, when I felt the heat rising, my wife said to me, "Now, who are you going to blame?" Oh my goodness. I was just ready to whip around and say, "Trina, why'd you make me put that window?" Because it was never my fault. But there came a day when I said to God, "No more. I will start assuming responsibilities." And I'll say, "It's me. It's me." Do I see your hand out there right now saying, "It's me"? This will be the first day of the rest of your life. An incredible day if you have the ability to say, no longer defensiveness, it's me, and I want to be corrected and I want to change. Exciting, huh? I'm going to be looking forward to seeing you the next time. So join me next week for chapter number 11 in our series on When Leaders Live Together. I love you.